What's a Google search that can unexpectedly get you arrested? Adam Savage got a call from the FBI because he sent an email to the wrong recipient. The email referenced thermal detonators, which was a Star Wars prop or something. He thought that the FBI was a prank caller. I think it was Adam calling and leaving a voicemail to a wrong number. That person then reported Adam to the FBI. He mentions it in one of his videos on his tested YouTube channel. But yeah, it was about a thermal detonator, and the FBI guy even looked Adam up and realized he was a prop maker. Edit. Here's the YouTube video. Story starts at 13:20. Story starts here. For the super lazy. Did the FBI have Google in 1982-99? A. Yes. A+ from the super lazy. LOL. Star Wars grenades. Angry Birds power up. LOL. When you jamming on your guitar but need to check how to finger a minor, so you slap that into Google. Ha ha ha. At work, I was talking to a colleague about my telescope, a 10-inch Dobsonian, from Orion Telescopes. Apparently, Orion is a dildo shop in Germany, and Googling Orion 10-inch didn't show any telescope in the first page. My coworker made a similar mistake back in the early 2000s. He tried to go to the website for Dick's Sporting Goods at work, but accidentally went to a porn website instead with a very similar URL. The URL he accidentally typed in is now owned by Dick's Sporting Goods and goes to their actual website. I did the exact same thing. Husband was working for Sports Authority, who was closing down. I searched Dick's.com on my work computer. Had to run over to IT to tell them why and to ignore the alert they undoubtedly got. They printed it out and framed it for me. My college GF once told me her violin string snapped during HS orchestra rehearsal, and she asked someone if she could borrow a G-string. She was later called the string queen. Oddly enough, she hated thongs and strings when we dated. Not odd at all. Thongs and strings are extremely uncomfortable. As somebody who has studied law, I have looked up so much stuff that would be fishy if I weren't a law student. If that didn't get me arrested on searching alone, I don't know what will. E.g. drug street value, age of consent laws, people smuggling, admissible evidence in court. Got my undergrad degree in forensics. We had one paper assignment where we were free to pick a trace evidence to write about. Lots of people picked fibers, soils, paint ink, glass, my choice and by far the worst. But one person chose explosive residue. They were researching a lot of different nitrate-containing fertilizers, the chemical compositions of primary explosives, and similar things. They got a knock on their dorm door by the FBI. The funny thing is we were at one of the largest schools for forensics and fire science, so people were constantly searching weird stuff. But this is the only scenario I knew where the FBI actually showed up. That sounds like an early script for a CSI prequel original story. Haha, if only. Most of the people I went with never went into forensics. I only personally know one person working in a crime lab. The pay is not great. Work hours are tough. Got a present in court. And the psychological stress is awful. I dual majored and changed focus after seeing an image of suicide by blasting cap. Guy bit down and detonated it. Never, again. Technically looking up the age of consent shouldn't get you arrested. Why would someone check what the law was unless they intended to obey it or to enforce it? Oh, so naive. I'm sure there are plenty of people who have looked at it and said fuck it. Still doing it anyway. How to make a bomb and forgetting to add in Minecraft. Not a Google search, but I was on a conference call while waiting for a flight once and realized in the conversation that I had mentioned bombs, bill of materials, C4, a type of router we were deploying, and ISIS, an internal monitoring tool. Was never approached by security, so have to assume no one heard me. Damn, that could have gone wrong so fast. Sir, could you step this way please? Sure. Is there a problem, officer? Yes, actually. We can't get this fucking printer connected to the network. Can you help us? You're gonna be on somebody's watch list RN. If you spend enough time on Reddit, you are bound to be on a watch list. I did some software development job. At one point I caught myself Googling, how to kill a child if its parent is dead. Yep, forgot to add process after child. You also forgot to add Stack Overflow after dead lol. They'll just tell you that it is obvious that you need to use a gun and then mark the question as duplicate and ask you to stop wasting their time. Good lord, this is the best comment. Kudos. Voldemort trying to kill Harry. I was gonna say Joker with Batman, but yours is better. When I was deployed to the Middle East, I was going through a leadership course and I was given the subject of C4 to do a 15-minute presentation of. I googled how it's made, how it works, how to make it more efficient, different ways it can be used. It dawned on me that I was looking all this up from an IP address in the Middle East and I thought for sure I was on some type of watch list. The FBI that have been watching this man for 5 years. And read this post. Ah, so that's why. It actually has been 5 years 2018. Sounds like you work for them. Hook a brother up and erase my search histories in y'all's database. Nah, I'm not. Just a good guess. I'll be watching you anyway, Mr. Brad. Peas, if the name is true, I think my luck today is at 100%. Semper Fi, brother. It's never about a single search term. It's the clusters of times and topics that set off the alarm bells. If you just look up how to build a bomb that will get overlooked, but you look that up along with bus schedules and event dates, then you're gonna look kinda funky. Or how to acquire each individual component of the bomb. Shit. Depending on the bomb build, you can get pretty much everything short of explosives at a hardware store. If you want, I can show you how to make a bomb out of a roll of toilet paper and a stick of dynamite. I'm probably on a watch list. I Google anything I wonder about. A short summary of my Google search PR today. Migraine medicines, bitter almonds. How many bitter almonds before deadly? Can everyone smell cyanide? Rice and local zoo. Reptilian park activities for kids in my area. What gives an allergic reaction? Mosquitoes. Allergy. Vaccination. Grass pollen. Warning, my area. Tesla cars for sale. Hello FBI, I just have ADHD. Questions need answers. As a person also with ADHD and access to Google, I agree with this. My search history looks insane. Nice try, FBI. Not today. CIA. Not me, Sid. It was me, D.O. Example, how do I the president? Fill in the blank about 100 times and you'll surely be on someone's radar. High five? The Todd has breached containment. I repeat, the Todd has breached containment. Betrayal 5. In the 90s I expressed a desire for a public figure to be dead. Not a serious thing. You're normal, no one could believe this posting. Another guy said that the Secret Service would be tracking me down. It's been 30 plus years and I'm still waiting. Oh, they're tracking you. But they're the Secret Service. It's supposed to be secret. What to do with top secret documents you have stored in your bathroom? Digitize them, then store them on a server in your bathroom that is connected to the interment. At this point, what difference does it make? Are you trying to bait us to get us banned? Lol. Side story. My stepdaughter asked her mom to Google what happens to a woman if she takes Viagra because she didn't want Google to know she was looking it up. She's 22. Well, now I'm curious. Viagra was originally a heart medication. It just had unwanted side effects for a heart medication. So in the case of women, I'm guessing nothing happens. But Google seems to indicate that it can make some sexually aroused and help with low libido. As an aside, it's quite important to let doctors know if you've had Viagra if you're having chest pain and they want to give you medication. They'll probably ask too. Honestly, just tell your doctor everything, it's better for you and they don't care apart from trying to make sure you don't die. It's still used for both sexes to treat pulmonary hypertension, fairly rare heart plus lung condition. Source, I have PH. You are likelier to get pregnant. Not kidding. Wart Hunter forums. It's a lovely day to leak some classified documents. Was the guy correct? Apparently the F-16 no. Gotta love it. Which is, I'm not Googling it. War Thunder is a video game about tanks, ships and planes, and the devs pride themselves in how realistic and accurate their tanks are. Well, not quite. So one day some dude leaked the entire manual of the Challenger 2 tank. Later, someone leaked the Leclerc S2 manual, and also a Chinese tank I can't remember. I think most recently someone leaked the F-16 design docs or something. I bet horse breeders have problems looking for 12-year-old well-built stud for breeding. Geez. Jizz. I saw slut when I first read this and thought, well, this is a weird time to add character development. How to kill child with fork. How to kill child without parent. No joke. This is the exact Google search when I was making a game where I wanted to delete a child object from the parent. I was learning 3D rendering and I didn't know the proper terms yet, so I searched how to take away child from parent permanently. I don't remember what the fuck I was trying to do, but I just could not find a proper result. Doesn't the child end itself? Brings to mind the story of a dad who found his internet search history and had to explain to his early teenage son that he needs to stop searching online for young teen girls naked or whatever he was looking up. Can't have been a comfortable conversation for either of them, lol. I read a similar story from the kid's perspective on here once. Kid had just discovered porn and wanted to find girls his age. Cue awkward conversation with his dad when the cops came knocking. Poor kid, I bet he was mortified, lol. It'd be amazing if the story you read and the one I know of if they're the son and dad. Did this when I was a kid. Luckily nothing happened. Wild how it was honestly super accessible though. Think I was 1213. I'm an author. I regularly add for fictional book research onto searches like which side of the White House is the president's bedroom or how big of an explosion would a suitcase nuke make. How do I make a bomb? How do you get blood out of clothing? How to hide a body? Dear FBI agents, I am a student doing research for a paper PLS no arrest. Is murder illegal in Canada? Is murder illegal in Canada is killing me. Mission accomplished. Screenwriter here. My search history goes from research about farming and cherry trees, to World War II war crimes, then back to a small town in the middle of Wyoming. Never thought about adding this to my searches. Thank you. I am a game developer, and I guess every one of us has already seen this one. Objects in your game scene are often called actors, or a game object, when an actor is linked to another, and inheritates some of its specificities, position in space etc. It's called a child object, and the object it's linking to becomes the parent. Sometimes you want to use the script on the parent to delete the child actor. So pretty much every time you want to have a deletion applied to a child actor you are googling things like, how to kill children, how to force parent to destroy children, how to separate child from parent, how to destroy child without affecting parent, how to get a child to destroy other children of the same parent, etc. I'm pretty sure the FBI is watching me as I'm writing this comment. There wasn't any other words to use than parent and child? Well, master and slave also exists. There is a difference between a parent and child relation and a master and slave relation. Damn, that sounds weird. Anyways, when a parent dies, the child dies too, or the child inherits something. When the master dies, the slave doesn't die, it just doesn't have a master anymore. A master only controls a slave. He doesn't own it like a parent does its child. 3D modeling can get you in trouble when getting references. Once I made a baby centaur, and I needed reference for the baby part, so I have a lot of Google searches along the lines of baby front view, baby side view, and a bunch of similar searches. I think I'm on a list from that, and the model turned out to look like shit too cause I was new at the time. Just add human to the front next time. They'll know you are an alien that way. On another note, in Switzerland, if you Google buy chloroform legal Switzerland and how to use chloroform, then get accused of raping someone using chloroform, it will not get you sentenced to anything, as shown by a Swiss conservative politician. You can mix bleach and acetone to make chloroform though. Yes, officer. This guy over here. How to make a bomb. In case of Sheldon Cooper, where to buy uranium. Amazon actually sells uranium ore. Uranium I can understand as it's not super dangerous unless it's U-235, which is illegal to own. I'm more concerned by the fact that you can buy large quantities of cesium online. That shit is scary and super dangerous. Combine the two and you have a low-level dirty bomb too. You should ask Pete Townsend. Apparently he didn't think looking up CP for research would get him in trouble. He's also said that it saved his life. I want this to be the start of a clickbait YouTube video. This man looked up child pornography. Zoom in, and it saved his life. En passant. Holy hell. New response just dropped. Something Pippy Brick. Can you inherit from child? How to kill child? How to make a slave drive? And other unfortunately named tech programming terms. We actually aren't supposed to call them slave drives and master drives anymore. Now they are primary and secondary drives. Any game tips for Crusader Kings? How can I kill all my enemies in a great blot? How can I abduct half the Kingdom of England? Fastest way to have sex with my twin sister. When we are both Catholic and she is quite lustful. I want to erase the entire French culture. How can I come about this? Techniques for fingering A minor. I play guitar. Who went by the alias Fat Long Pig, had solicited several people for their help in abducting a child with the intent to rape, torture, murder, and cannibalize young children in his dungeon. Raping, murdering and eating children. A press release read. These chats were accompanied by discussions of the desire to sexually abuse, murder and cannibalize those children. Portway utilized Skype and other programs to communicate with Arnett, trading child pornography including images of injured, mutilated and deceased children while chatting about the sexual abuse, rape, abduction, murder and cannibalism of children. Prosecutors said, Portway repeatedly solicited Arnett to kidnap a child for him. with the intent that Portway would ultimately rape, kill and eat that child. These solicitations for help abducting a child included discussing real children, by name and photo, that Arnett claimed to know and have access to. Boston man plotted to eat children. Man who plotted to kidnap, torture and eat children asks for compassionate prison release. I feel like if certain people get hurt while in custody, that should be grounds to grant reduced sentence. To the person who hurt the POS, it should count as community service hours. Larry Nassar, the guy who molested dozens of underage Olympic athletes, was recently stabbed multiple times. Someone is pissed at their boyfriend. Sneaky little bastard. Oftentimes, it's way more complicated than just one factor. An example is if you were a government employee with a top secret security clearance and started Googling luxury homes to buy in China, you would quite possibly be having some fun conversations with the CIA, NSA, and FBI, and the IRS. But if the FBI goes through my internet history, they'll see I bought College General Shumsatry and Organic Shumsatry on Udemy, followed by several hundred Google YouTube searches on guides for synthesizing MDMA. I hope they come knocking, because about 2 months into organic chemistry I realized I'm way too dumb for all of that, and it would be flattering that they think I finally figured out how to synth pure MDMA. Lol. I wish you luck on the organic chemistry. I barely passed my organic chem course but have grown to love it. Also, side note, I also definitely have numerous incriminating searches related to illicit substances, their production, regulated reagents, how those regulated reagents are synthesized, and explosives. Comment removed by FBI. Redacted. As an art school student, it can get pretty weird when you have to look up child anatomy or look up people doing very specific actions for reference poses. My search history got a lot weirder when I started learning to draw. Pizza order and then sharing snap of said pizza whilst arguing climate change with a lady in another country. You do realize that that's not what got him arrested, right? Can you please explain? I have no idea what this is referencing. When Andrew Tate got arrested after posting the video responding to Greta Thunberg, people thought it was because the pizza boxes in his video proved to the Romanian authorities that he was in Romania. I don't think any alone can definitely be used against you in court though. If I'm an ex-president, in possession of stolen classified documents, how do I hide or destroy them? Mr. Trump, is that you? There's a rapper called Young Nudie and he has a song called Child's Play. You'd need to carefully word your Google search to look it up. My writing professor was Googling stuff related to the CIA's off-the-grid city in Virginia to research a book he was writing and got an email from the government within minutes. But then after they vetted his background, they actually invited him to check it out. He went during spring break and joked beforehand that if he never returned, we all know why. Lamau. I would like to know more, but don't know how to search for it. How to get arrested. Well, we know it's not chloroform or how to hide a dead baby. I work at a juvenile detention center. I once had a county call trying to place a 25-year-old on sex crimes that were committed when he was 17. I was Googling things like statute of limitations for crim sex and things like that. I may be on a list now. We did not take the adult sex offender man and put him in with our juvenile residents. I don't know why the fuck he even asked in the first place. You mean aside the ones that get you expectedly arrested? No single search term will get you arrested. How to make sarin. How many gallons of liquid sarin would I need to disperse into a volume of? Backspace. What is the approximate internal volume of the White House? Where can I buy bulk fertilizer and rent a U-Haul at the same time? How to construct a terrorist bomb. It sometimes works. How to easily get CP, where CP stands for Combat Power, Combat Points, Control Points. Holy shit, browsing through the comments on Reddit will be the defining factor when AI decides to kill off all humans. The amount of ignorance is fucking appalling. Like, I'm serious. This entire thread is what it would be like if Beavis and Butthead were real and had 107 Reddit accounts and were in the same thread. But my finger a minor and kill a child process jokes are so original to me.